So we got a little more sovereign news for those who care. First up, according to Officer Derek Smith of the Lawrence Police Department, a man was pulled over Sunday around 11:15 p.m. This man, who had multiple warrants for his arrest, was a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen. The man resisted arrest, holding onto the steering wheel of the vehicle and refusing to exit after being told to do so multiple times. I bet he also refused to roll down his window. Officers then physically removed the suspect from the vehicle and took him into custody. The man received small cuts to his forehead and some scratches on his body during the incident and declined medical treatment. The man arrested in the incident, according to jail and court records, was charged Monday with failing to have vehicle registration and driving without a license. Which is, not particularly exciting so far, right? Typical sovereign nonsense. Well, then we got this. Kelseyville, California. I think that's Kelseyville. I don't know how to fucking say these weird-ass names. A Lake County man who fired his rifle at law enforcement and highway workers was apprehended Monday after a 6-hour manhunt. 43-year-old Joshua Brown, known as Buck, because of course he was apparently enraged about a driveway dispute. Because of course he was. In May, he lost a court case and was ordered to share his driveway with another landowner, so he dumped concrete and metal debris on it and carved out a new one. Because of course he did. The dirt easement he constructed onto the highway was illegal, and Monday morning, Caltrans crews arrived to remove it. But no sooner had they placed their K-rail barrier across it, Brown came running down his road yelling at the workers with what looked like a gun in his hands. Quote, after shooting at us, he went back and got his pickup truck, and got his rifle and shot off a couple rounds at the highway patrol sitting right at the end of the driveway. Roadblocks were set up when Brown took off running, at one point firing 3 shots toward arriving sheriff deputies and state park officers. SWAT from 3 counties swarmed the area, and a few dozen households in the vicinity were warned to lock themselves inside or leave while Brown was roaming. See? This is why we hate you. Any sovereigns who decide to come along and watch my videos and then comment your retarded nonsense. This is why we hate you. Not only are you a laughable joke to the entire rational world, but you let your stupid ass ideas get the better of you and this kind of shit takes place. We don't hate you because you're idiots. There are plenty of idiots out there that we don't hate. We hate you because you're loudmouthed, self-righteous idiots and you have a propensity to shoot people who don't agree with your backward way of thinking. Another quote here, we got some information that he's got underground bunkers or storage containers buried underground. Because fucking of course he does. Another quote, he's always got some kind of protest thing going on. There's signs all over his fences and we've all been watching it when we pass by here. For years, always something new's going on, unquote. A professional activist. Like many other sovereigns, he always has some kind of grievance with the establishment. Okay, and the last bit. So, you remember our old friend Thomas Benson from this video? Yeah, well, he's back. Now he's filing bogus court orders against a Las Vegas detective. A Clark County grand jury on Thursday charged Benson and Marina Clove, who is listed as a Superior Court judge, in at least some of their retarded paperwork, with 2 counts of interfering with a public officer, 2 counts of preventing or dissuading a person from testifying or producing evidence, and 2 counts of bribing or intimidating a witness to influence testimony. According to the incident, the defendants filed papers in federal court in April that said the Las Vegas detective Kenneth Meade, the lead detective in a criminal case pending against Benson, had been held in contempt by the, quote, Superior Court of the United States of America Continental, and that Meade had been fined $500 for his work on the case. The defendants in May also filed ruling and judgment that, among other things, ordered Meade to pay a $50,000 fine. Nevada Attorney General Adam Laxalat. God, what the fuck is up with these names? Why can't people just use like normal goddamn names like fucking Jones? That's your fucking name now, dude. Your name is Jones. Adam Jones' office, which has said in court papers that Benson poses a threat of both physical violence and economic harm. Benson has said in court papers that he is not a U.S. person, but he is a sworn Continental United States of America Marshal. He also filed several orders this year from a non-existent court. You see, this is my point. This is why I started making these sovereign citizen videos. It's not just to make fun of the community, but to try and show what these people are, and that they're not only absurdly silly, but in many cases dangerous, and at the very least, a burden on our tax dollars. I'm going to use a little sovereign mentality here, so bear with me. I have always paid taxes, both federal and state, which means my money has contributed to the creation of roads in states that I have lived in, and I have always had a tag on my vehicles, a legally paid for tag and registration, which means I have paid with my money to build and maintain these roads, which by all retard rights means I own them. And if you decide to drive on these roads without registration, you are using my property without my consent. Thereby you owe me. I hereby formally and publicly charge all sovereign citizens who have ever used a motor vehicle without state-recognized registration and tags with unlawful use and abuse of my property. You are hereby fined $11.6 billion, each and every one, payable by cash, money order, gold, silver, Bitcoin, or other valuable service or skills. Naturally, a payment plan can be established for as low as $12,000 a month if you lack the initial $11.6 billion. Alright, peace fuckers.